Stop whatever you're eating right now. Put it down. Because in about 3 minutes, you're going to look at it completely differently. Your food, whatever it is, represents the end of a 3 million year journey that started with something so disgusting that most people refuse to believe their own ancestors actually ate it. And the strangest part? Your body is still craving it. Let's start at the very beginning. Your earliest ancestors were not hunters. They were not farmers. They were not even particularly good at finding food. They were the last ones at the table. When a lion killed something on the African savanna, it took the best parts first: muscle, organs, everything rich and easy to eat. Then the hyenas arrived and finished off most of what was left. Then the vultures. Then the jackals. By the time your ancestors showed up, these small, slow, mostly harmless creatures, what remained was essentially garbage. Stripped bones, empty carcasses, the scraps that nothing else wanted. And this is what they ate. Their signature meal, the thing that kept the entire human lineage alive for over 1 million years, was bone marrow, those thick leg bones that lions and hyenas couldn't crack open. Your ancestors picked them up, found a sharp rock, and smashed them open. Inside was marrow, gray, slick, raw, dripping with fat. They scooped it out with their fingers and ate it on the spot. For over 1 million years, that was dinner. And they ate the brains too. A cracked skull holds almost a pound of pure fat. For an ancestor surviving on scraps, finding an intact skull was like winning a lottery they didn't even know they were playing. Here's the part that should genuinely surprise you. Your body still remembers this. That instinct you have to add butter to everything. The way your brain lights up when you eat something rich and fatty. The reason a greasy meal feels so deeply satisfying in a way that a salad never quite does. That's not a personal preference. That's a 1 million-year-old craving that kept your entire family line alive. But bone marrow wasn't the only thing on the menu. Insects, termites, grubs, beetles, fat white larvae the size of your thumb that apparently crunched like shrimp when you bit into them. For your deep ancestors, insects were not a survival situation. They were not a dare. They were not something you ate on a TV show for prize money. They were just Tuesday dinner. And honestly, from a nutritional standpoint, they were excellent. More protein per gram than beef. More iron than spinach. Easy to catch, impossible to run away, available everywhere. The only thing wrong with them by modern standards is that they're insects, which is a remarkably recent opinion. Then, fire changed everything. About 1 million years ago, something happened that would completely reshape what humans ate, how humans thought, and arguably, what humans became. Someone cooked something. Cooking is essentially pre-digestion. Raw meat forces your gut to spend hours breaking down tough protein fibers. Cooked meat arrives already partially broken apart. Your body pulls more calories from every bite and spends less energy doing it, which meant something remarkable started happening. As humans started cooking food regularly, their guts began to shrink. They didn't need enormous digestive systems anymore. And all that energy that used to go toward digestion, it went to the brain instead. The human brain is only 2% of your body weight, but it uses 20% of your total calories. You cannot run that machine on raw termites and uncooked roots. You need dense, cooked, calorie-rich food. Cooking didn't just change what humans ate, cooking made humans human. By 300,000 years ago, the menu had expanded dramatically. Mammoth, bison, wild horse, reindeer, fish, shellfish, roots, wild grains, berries, nuts, mushrooms, eggs stolen from nests, and honey, especially honey. The Hadza, a hunter-gatherer tribe in Tanzania who still eat the way humans ate before farming existed, get about 15% of their total calories from wild honey. They climb dangerous trees. They get stung hundreds of times. They keep going back, because nothing else in the wild delivers that many calories in a single mouthful. And here's something you already know without knowing it. That exact craving is still running in you right now. Your brain treats sugar exactly the way your ancestors' brains treated honey, as the most valuable substance they could possibly find. Instant energy, storable fat, pure survival advantage. Modern food figured this out and turned it into a billion-dollar industry. Soda, candy, cereal, sauces, bread, packaged snacks. Almost every processed food on Earth is essentially honey wearing different clothing. Your body cannot tell the difference. It just knows sweet means calories. Calories mean survival. Eat it now before someone else does. But here's the part of the story that nobody wants to talk about. There is a cave in England called Gough's Cave, and in 1987, archaeologists found something inside it that took decades for researchers to fully accept. Human bones, about 14,700 years old, carefully processed human bones. The skulls had been meticulously cleaned with stone tools. The faces removed, the bases removed. What was left, shaped deliberately, worked carefully, were cups, bowls made from human skulls. The long bones had been cracked open exactly the way your ancestors cracked open antelope bones, for the marrow. Here's the part that makes this undeniable. The same cave contained plenty of horse and deer remains. There was no shortage of food. This wasn't starvation. A 2017 study calculated the actual caloric value of a human body. About 125,000 calories. A single bison provides 600,000. A mammoth provides 3 million. Humans weren't efficient food. By pure survival math, they didn't make sense to eat. They were a choice. Gough's Cave isn't alone. Similar evidence has been found across Europe, Germany, France, Spain, Croatia. For a very long time, in many different places, humans were doing this to each other, not always to survive, because somewhere in our history, it meant something we no longer understand. And the menu got stranger still. Ancient humans didn't just eat fresh meat. They ate old meat, very old meat. When a hunter killed something too large to finish immediately, they cached it, buried it in cold ground, stashed it in caves, left it in cold streams. Days later, weeks later, sometimes months later, they came back. By that point, the meat was rotting, crawling with bacteria, smelling of decay. They ate it anyway, and researchers think they may have actually preferred it that way. Partially decomposed meat is easier to chew, easier to digest, and the bacteria produce B vitamins the human body genuinely needs. Here's the part that should hit you right now. Every fermented food you love is controlled rot. Cheese, yogurt, sourdough bread, beer, wine, pickles, soy sauce. All of it is ancient bacteria doing exactly what they were doing to that cached mammoth meat on a cold savanna. Your taste for aged cheese didn't develop in France. It developed over hundreds of thousands of years on a landscape that smelled considerably worse. So here's what's actually happening every time you eat. Every craving you feel for fat, for sugar, for salt, for the richest thing available, for more than you actually need. That's not a personality flaw. That's a 3 million-year-old program still running inside a body that was built for a world that no longer exists. At midnight, when you open the fridge, even though you're not hungry, that's not weakness. That's your ancient ancestors scanning the landscape for calories before the next famine arrives. Your body doesn't know about grocery stores or refrigerators or food delivery apps. It just knows. Eat what's rich, eat what's rare, eat while you can. Because 3 million years of human history says, tomorrow there might be nothing. If that changed how you think about the next thing you eat, or made you feel slightly better about that midnight snack. That's exactly what Ink Origin is here for. Every week we go looking for the questions hiding underneath the questions everyone is already asking. Ancient humans, animal psychology, the strange science of being alive. Subscribe if that's your kind of thing. It's free. And somewhere 3 million years ago, an ancestor of yours cracked open a bone in the dark and thought they were eating like a king. They weren't wrong.